Welcome back, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. I'm your host, Mike, and today I'm going to bring you the Elijah Craig Small Batch Barrel Proof Kentucky Straight Bourbon. 67.6% ABV, that's 135.2 proof. Wow. The strongest, well, the highest ABV I have brought you on this channel. These Elijah Craig barrel proofs always come with a batch number, and this one is A119. Pick that up right, A119. This Elijah Craig barrel proof is a whiskey that I have been recently turned on to by a coworker of mine, and I have been really impressed with it. It's but an incredibly easy drinking whiskey. It's also aged at least 12 years, non-chill filtered and non-colored. You see little disclaimers right there at the back. And this little beaut goes for $50 here locally. A little hard to find sometimes. You got to be at the liquor stores when they get their deliveries because they're usually gone the same day. Story for another time, but the bourbon market here in Columbus, Ohio is really competitive. People will literally line up at stores an hour before they open. We have this little thing in Ohio where you can check to see what individual stores got the night before. It will be on the shelves the next day. And it's like showing up in an amusement park sometimes. These people, myself included, will go in an hour before the liquor store opens, stand there and wait in line to make sure they get their pick of a Blanton's. Every once in a while, a Stag Junior will be around. This Elijah Craig, Weller, yada yada. Anyway, let's get back to it. The Elijah Craig barrel proof. Yes, I pronounce it. Yes, barrel proof Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Aged 12 years, non-chill filtered, non-colored. Look at that color. Rich and deep. Rich, deep mahogany. Let's give it a little smell. Wow. Burnt oak, burnt caramel. The char from the barrel itself, not the whiskey char, but the char from the barrel. Ash. And a lovely sweetness, just like a ridge of a mountain at the end. You have a mountain of char, ash, and burnt caramel, and burnt toasted almonds, and just a nice little ridge of sweetness, vanilla sweetness. I tell you what, this is a dangerous drinker, my friends. This is a bottle that I picked up last week. I picked it up because I drank the first bottle that was a gift from my coworker in probably 2 weeks' time. Incredibly easy drinking whiskey, despite the fact it's at 135.2% ABV, which seems completely counterintuitive, yet it exists. What do I think? Now I get past all the burn notes in a good way. Just a dark barrel is what I'm getting, a dark, spicy barrel. When they say barrel proof, is that how they say it? Yeah, barrel proof. It's like the barrel is part of it. Like, you know that barrel. Whatever barrel number A119 came from, or the barrels that made this batch, I bet if I smelled that barrel, if it was in a room, it would smell just like this whiskey smells. Just dark, angry charcoal and ash and burnt caramel. And a sweetness of corn. You don't get that corn sweetness out of like a real bourbon, a real high ABV bourbon. You know, you can't do a normal Blanton's or something like that. You need to step up the ABV. Actually, I got a Blanton straight from the barrel that I'm gonna bring you guys here soon, a 700 ml version. It has some similarities, but we'll talk about that whiskey when we get there. Today, we got the Elijah Craig. Yeah, spicy, burnt spice, burnt caramel, burnt oak, dark oak. I don't know what that exactly means, but like an oakiness that's just dark. An incredible nose. It takes a second to get used to it, just to be completely transparent. If you will put this in a Glencairn or another type of nosing glass, Capita, whatever it is you have, and you just go right for it, it might push your nose out the glass. I'm a person who's used the cast strength whiskeys. If you followed my channel for any amount of time, I brought you many. This one here, wow. I mean, wow. What you would expect out of a 67.6% ABV. Just a very alcohol-driven smell with most of the alcohol gone. Let's take a sip. That's why this is dangerous. That is such an easy drinker. Such an easy drinker. It stings after you swallow. When it comes back and it stings the side of the tongue. But initially, man, it is sweet. It is so much sweeter than you would expect from the nose. So much sweeter than you would expect from 67.6% ABV. That sweet corn is what you get initially, and it is incredibly sweet. Then as soon as you swallow, instantly you get that candied, sugary caramel. Then here it comes. Then that sting of the spice. The alcohol adds to that sting, but it is incredibly cinnamon clove spicy. Right on the tongues, and it lasts. It lasts and lasts. Man, that is something. $50, people. $50. My friends, if you can get a bottle of this, I know mainly I do scotches on this. I throw in a few bourbons. I know more about scotch than I do bourbons, but this is what I know about this bourbon. For $50, this is one of the best bang for the buck whiskeys you can buy, period. If I had $50 to spend on a bourbon, a whiskey, this would be it. I'm ready to say it. This is the best $50 bottle of whiskey I've ever had, period. And Blanton's is only $55, I'll include that in there. Lafroig 10, Ardbeg 10, those are right at 50 or just under. This is a better whiskey. Just saying. You may not think so. I appreciate a cast strength whiskey. I appreciate a high ABV. I appreciate a tasty whiskey that smells incredible, and this gives me all of those things. Age statement, barrel proof, great price. Wow. You know, funny, I was in line at one of the liquor stores here recently, and I was probably fourth or fifth guy in line, and walk in, and the first couple guys in front of me, they go for the Blantons, because here in Columbus, you can only get one of each bottle. They limit you, because if not, I'd buy the shelf. Guys went for the Blantons, they went for the Weller Antique, the Weller, was it the 12? No, that 12 hasn't been here for a while. But anyway, they're going after the Weller Antique, they're going after the Eagle Rare, they're going after the Blantons, and I walk past them all, and I get two of these Elijah Craigs, because they don't limit how many of these you can buy. And I bring these two things up. These other guys are talking about, they're so glad they got a Blanton's. And when I walk up, everyone's looking at me like, well, why did you wait in line for this? No one asked me that question, but I can see it on their face. So I said, you guys wonder why I'm getting this one? Sure, why are you getting this one? I've had all those ones you guys got, the Weller Antique, the normal Weller, the green label, the Blanton's, the Eagle Rare. This is the best one. Every one of those guys turned around and bought one of these things. And for $50, why not? $50, barrel proof. All right, you may have noticed in my rambling, I dropped a couple of Fiji water, a couple of drops of Fiji water in here. See what it did. Opened up the spice, kind of mellowed out a few things and really opened up the spice. A lot more predominant on the nose once you add water with a little bit of spice. Still getting that burnt oak, still getting that burnt caramel. It's almost like the burnt caramel got some water doused on it. So it kind of scaled it back some. Smoothed it out, if you will. And changed the tone of my voice. All in the same swoop. Oh man, I tell you what. Luscious caramel. In the background, a little bit of honey? No, it's vanilla. It's not honey, it's vanilla. What do you think you get from bourbons? That sweet honey and vanilla, that sweet corn. You know, if you're from Columbus, Ohio, which probably 7 or 8 of you that watch my videos are, Millersport has a sweet corn festival every year. And so when I go, I usually go to eat all the junk food. It's like a huge fair. But the first thing I'll do is I'll get a few pieces of sweet corn. When I'm standing in line to get the sweet corn, the smell. A piece of this smell. Right there. Sweet Corn Festival, Millersport, sweetness. A little sip with water. Took a little sting off because it is barrel proof. But I gotta say, it's the right kind of sting at barrel proof. Water does make it more palatable to somebody who maybe isn't partial or is new to barrel proof whiskeys. However, I prefer it neat. Not only on the nose, but also on the palate. Again, you throw out numbers like 67.6% ABV, 132.2 proof, and you think to yourself, I need a chaser, I need some water, I need something to dial this party down. You don't. You don't need any of those things. You're using a glass that properly appreciate how good this whiskey is. And you know, a can-do attitude. That's where I'm at with this. Absolutely the best $50 whiskey I've ever had in my life, and I've had hundreds of whiskeys. I will give this a 91, 92, 91, 92? 92 out of 100, which is a strong score for any whiskey, let alone a bourbon, let alone Elijah Craig. It's not Pappy, it's not Weller, it's not George T. Stagg. I mean, but I am telling you, this is an incredible whiskey. You get your hands on it, go for it. I don't know, I know they make other variations of the barrel proof, some a little bit higher, some a little bit lower, but if you can get any of these whiskeys, I would absolutely say go for it. Bang for your buck, you can't beat it. I don't care if you're in the States, I don't care if you're in the UK. Get your hands on this bottle, try it, tell me what you think in the comment section. Until next time, I want to thank you for joining us for another one of Mike and sometimes Billy's whiskey reviews. And until next time, happy drinking.